For today I have from Mattel's WWE Elite Collection Series 106 line. He will always be remembered as the manager of The Undertaker. He is Paul Bearer. Finally, a brand new, updated Elite figure of the late, the great Paul Bearer. As you may or may not know, I still have Paul Bearer's original 2 Elites with Mattel, which came out a long time ago. So long ago that they are just so outdated and don't hold a candle to this figure. I know it's technically premature, but come on. But not only do I have this Paul Bearer Elite, but I also have the Chase variant. This is him when he managed Kane. But wait, that's not all. I also bought a second regular Paul Bearer Elite. Why, you may ask? I plan on giving one of those 2 previous Elites a new lease on life. Basically a, spoiler alert, a head swap. And obviously I will be doing a comparison between this new Paul Bearer Elite with his previously released Elites. And we will all see a huge improvement over those previous 2 figures. But before we get to that, and much more, let's take a closer look at Paul Bearer in this brand new Elite packaging. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is my very first review of a WWE Elite figure in this brand new and somewhat controversial packaging. Little window on top so you can see the figure inside. Hello down there. True effects. The packaging is mostly white and with this like bluish hue to it, I guess. The red stripe going down. You see Paul Bearer in the packaging, but his legs are cut off. From what I gather, and this is kind of obvious if you know about packaging for stuff nowadays, they try to use the least amount of plastic as possible. But I heard some companies like Hasbro are kind of going back on that. Big WWE logo here, Series 106, Paul Bearer, and there's a very ghoulish picture of Paul Bearer holding an urn. On the side, Certified Authentic, Paul Bearer. On the side, that same picture again. And on the back, I have a more ghoulish picture of Paul Bearer. Either he's summoning the dead man, or he's about ready to turn his back on him. Who knows? There's no stats other than the fact that he's a WWE Hall of Fame inductee. Oh, yes! In the Attitude Era, the ghoulish manager of Undertaker turned his back on the dead man and introduced the world to the monstrous Kane. Jimmy and Jey Uso, who are no longer together in the bloodline. Sami Zayn. Sheesh! Chad Gable. Paul Bearer. And Roxanne Perez. She's so cute. And now for something I haven't done in a really long time. An Elite packaging comparison video. But I will do it within this video. So let's compare the brand new 106 packaging to the last style packaging. This one definitely has more plastic on the front than this one. Tops are definitely different. Real quick, which one is superior to you? This one or that one? To me, this one. If it wasn't for this ugly emptiness here, maybe it would have been this one. Who knows? But now, without any further delay, let's get the late, the great Paul Bearer out of this cryptic packaging. And here is Paul Bearer out of the packaging. And I gotta say, this figure looks perfect. Almost. Let me show you as we take a closer look at this one and the Chase variant. Here are both their faces. Definitely love this new face scan for Paul Bearer. Even I prefer more open mouth scan. This one with the big dead bug eyes is awesome. And the hair. This one is him without the makeup on. He's not pale like this one. His hair is all brown. Now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this torso and these legs are brand new. Especially since we have never, as far as I know, have ever had a suited body with a jacket that stays open. And see the rest of his torso and tie. I kind of hope they continue this going forward with some of the suited bodies. And I think the legs are new. Now, one thing I don't like about these legs is the fact that these feet cannot turn. They're pretty much here in this position. We can pivot them a little bit. Back to the chase. We open up Paul Bearer's blue jacket. You can see this, it's like a pink and gold tie. Very weird. It's a very interesting pattern. You can see a better look at this on the packaging. Back to the legs. And here's the back of both figures. And now, the accessories. Both Paul Bearers come with the same accessories, so I'm not going to look through all of them for both, just for one. So they both come with a pair of throne-sitting, grabbing, urn-holding hands. A pair of hands that are the same as takers, you know, the gesturing hands. And mic-holding hands. But what would any Paul Bearer be without his urns? And these two figures did not disappoint. The one on the left, the slow one, we have seen before with the Hall of Champions Paul Bearer, but it was a different color. This is definitely more bronzy, gold, vibrant color. But this big boy right here, we have never seen before. Same color as this one. And it's got like these dents in it, which I believe is on purpose because the other one has it too. But the best part about this, that separates this from the other urns, is that you can actually take this lid off. So now you can reenact the moment where Paul Bearer had it in his hands and a light was coming through. Too bad there's no light in there. Or you can put like a little sand in there and like have faux ashes spill out. Once again, here is that new urn that comes with this Paul Bearer. And here's the urn that came with the Hall of Champions Paul Bearer. Same exact mold, just a much more bright and shiny color. And the urn that none of these figures come with, the one that came with the Build-A-Figure Paul Bearer. And here it is compared to the big boy. With all these urns, you could say I've really earned it. I'm going to move Chase Paul Bearer to the side for now, so we can do the big comparison between the new one and the two previously released Paul Bearer figures. On the left we have the Walmart Build-A-Figure Paul Bearer. On the right we have the Hall of Champions Paul Bearer Elite. And you can just see how good this new one is compared to these. Let's do a quick height comparison. I always thought these two were too tall, but it looks like they're all the same height. But in terms of girth, that's accurate. They definitely made them way too fit. And you can even see in the legs, the new one has much bigger, beefier legs than these skinny legs. You can't open up the jackets on these unless you cut them. This one has a plain red tie. This one has a plain black tie. This one has a funky tie. Same with the other one. Real quickly. And the lightness, forget about it. This one is definitely superior. I mean, look at this. This is the evolution of this one. Also, it looks like something I never noticed before, but the black paint looks like it missed the mustache by a little bit. But this one right here, even though it's not true effects, could almost pass for it, especially if I put it on this body. These both have single jointed elbows and non-interchangeable hands. They're both stuck with a mic holding hand and a fist, which is definitely not going to hold an urn. This one will. Let's do a quick test, shall we? So I got the two little baby urns for these two pallbearers. That looks awful. But what are you going to do? But now with this one and the chase, you can do it. Thanks to the double jointed elbows and interchangeable hands. Let's get Big Bertha in here. Not perfect, but look at that. With the big one. You could even do that with these two, with the little ones. How awesome is that? Oh, Undertaker, I've got the urn. And just to show off further, here he is clutching the smaller urn. And the final nail in the coffin, here is the new pallbearer holding their urns. And here is pallbearer holding the urn in between gray glove Undertaker and purple gloved Undertaker. And here is the Chase variant pallbearer next to the Ultimate Edition debut Kane. And here is both pallbearers holding an urn. And as you can see, with this side-by-side comparison, it's easier for a pallbearer to hold the little urn over the big one. But it's still possible to hold either one. That is the most important thing about this. But before I wrap up this really awesome 2-in-1 review, let me do that head swap as quickly as I can off camera. I just can't wait to see the results. And here are the results. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! How awesome does that look? This head is perfect on this body. And I even got him in a different pose. I got the urn. Oh, yes. So now I have not one, not two, but three brand new, distinctive, improved pallbearer elite figures. And by the way, this is what's left over. Now he looks more like Gomez Adams or a Butler or something. I'm not even sure what to do with this now. It's almost the evolution of pallbearer. Like, this could be Gray Glove Taker's manager. This could be Purple Glove Undertaker's manager. And, of course, Kane's manager. Wait a minute. Now, how's that? These all look great together on my shelf. But that is it for my review of the brand new Elite Series 106 pallbearer, the Chase, and the Fix-Up. Tell me, what do you guys think? And what do you think of this Fix-Up? Let me know down in the comments below. But until the next review I do, and I still got a few left, hopefully before the year's over, I will see you soon. Don't forget to give me, Brother Love, some credit. I was Undertaker's first manager, and I was the one who introduced the world to Brother Bearer.